All right, Shalawam. Before we begin, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahawah,
Yahweh,
BAHASHAM,
BAHASHAM, Yahawashi,
Yahawashi, BAHASHAM,
BAHASHAM, Wahara,
Qadash.
Qadash.
Halal Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Qadash. And we're gonna go into the video. What's the video title? What?
Thou shalt be called a proverb and byword.
Yeah. Yep. Right, because the scriptures say that the Israelites will be called a proverb and a byword. A proverb is like a taunt, a scorn, ridicule. You know, now you Jakes are being called black. Now you Jakes are being called Puerto Ricans. Now you Jakes are being called Trinidadians, Brazilians, Jamaicans. So that's what we're gonna get into in this video. And we're gonna go into a list of those proverbs and bywords that our enemies placed on us. Right now, your identity is black. Your identity is not a Judite. Your identity now is Puerto Rican. It's not an Ephraimite. Your identity now is a Mexican, not an Issacharite. So we're going to get into that, all right? Because it's very important to know who you are according to the Bible, all right? It's important to know who you are. You have an identity. You have a biblical identity, all right? And so you can start with Deuteronomy. Let's go into the curses. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:15.
God, and before I grab that, I'll quickly want to mention when you go into the etymology on the word proverb, it goes into a common saying, something that's commonly spoken, and the word byword means used in a satirical or bad sense. So it's not a good thing to be a proverb and a byword. So let me jump into
Right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Yeah. Hey, repeat that verse a few times. What you're about to read, I want to see it for, because it's going in and out on my phone, but I want to check my tablet out. Go ahead, you got it. Going in and out on my phone, but I want to.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahawah thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Deuteronomy 28.
I heard it exactly. It's clear on the tablet. It's clear on the tablet. Right. So the Lord said that this will be a curse if we were to disobey the laws, the statute commandments, and not get right and not get ourselves right, that he was going to place curses on us. Just not one curse. We're just going into a curse or two in this video that befell us. But there's multiple curses that pursue us. It's just not being called black. It's not just being called nigger. It's not being called not just being called African American or Dominican or whatever. It's a lot of these curses. We're being there's so many curses on Jake. But right. So jump to verse 37, Babakasha.
God. Verse 37. Deuteronomy 28, verse 37, and it reads, And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither Yahawah shall lead thee.
Right. Right. Hold Jeremiah 17:4 right quick, Babakasha. I want to break this down. Right. So we became a proverb and a byword among all nations. So wherever we go, you're looked down upon, all right? If you go to China, they have something called blackface, or if you go to Asia somewhere, they have something called blackface. That's they're mocking you Jakes, all right? They go these black people here, these black folks, all right? Anywhere you go, you're looked down upon. If you go to Europe or the UK, they got some type of derogatory term that they apply to you, and when you got here to America, you were called what? A Negro, a nigger. Even on before you got here to America, you were being called negro by the Portuguese. All right. Now the Portuguese, one thing that the Portuguese called the slaves was a negro. They didn't call you an African or Africano. They knew exactly the difference between an African, a Hamite, and a Judite, or someone from the Southern Kingdom like Levi or Benjamin. And so anywhere you go, you face some type of racism or some type of reproach. All right. And that's so. And when these devils conquered you, they gave you these names. These proverbs and these bywords, right?
Khan. It was Jeremiah, and I'm Salaki. I misheard
Jeremiah 17:4.
17:4. Khan. And quickly before I grab this one, I'm gonna read the NLT on Deuteronomy
Yeah.
28 and 37. It reads, "You will become an object of horror, ridicule, and mockery among all the nations of which Yahawah sends you." And that, like the brother had said, before I grab this, I just wanted to mention, hey, that's the spirit. Discontinue from the heritage. That's literally what I was gonna grab, but I didn't realize it was this verse. So let's go ahead and read it. And you can hear me good, right?
Right. Yeah, it's going in and out, but
Okay.
I'm working around it. Lord willing,
Gotcha.
it'll be
Yeah.
the video goes smooth. Because on the tablet it's smooth.
Right. This is Jeremiah 17, verse 4. "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine heart, in my anger, which shall burn forever."
Right. So we discontinue from our heritage. Now the word heritage can mean your land. It can mean your land. Like we fled from into the interiors of Africa during 70 AD during the first Jewish and Israelite during the first Israelite Edomite war. All right, what's they call the Jewish war, whatever. Um, we fled into the interiors of Africa, right? Um, we knew we were Israelites. We had empires in Africa, like Mali and Nigeria. You had the Igbos, you had Ashantis, you had the Akons. Okay, but we discontinued from our heritage. It wasn't just the land; it was also the language. It was also the language. It was also our identity. Okay, and that's why this devil he tried so he knew who we were. That's why he told us we were black. That's why until this day he still calls you black. That's why on a job application, if you go sign a job application, you're gonna see black, Hispanic, Latino, white, whatever it is. But he called you something that you were not. All right, and until this day, you Jakes hold on to that dearly. You rather be called black. You Jakes still think you're an Egyptian. Okay, you Jakes, which Egyptian is not even a biblical nationality. Okay, you Jakes some of you Jakes think you're Ethiopians, like the Jamaicans. Okay, the tribe of Benjamin, they think they're Ethiopians, which Ethiopian just means burnt face. That's not a biblical nationality. All right, so you Jakes don't know who you are. You Jakes don't know who you are. So right, could you jump to what's that? Isaiah 1 and 3. That's it.
Okay. And then I'm holding Psalm 83 out if you want to grab that.
Yeah, we'll get that after. We'll get this
Okay.
quick precept.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. "The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider."
Right. So an ox and an ass are two stubborn animals. They know who they belong to. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider. So they don't even consider who they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because some people just walk by you at camp. They hear you saying that they're not like, say for Issacharite walks by you at camp, and in his mind, he still thinks he's a Mexican. That's what he thinks, right? He still thinks he's a Mexican, right? So you're telling him you're not a Mexican, you're an Israelite. Okay, that's why you got a city in Mexico called Issachar, which is spiritual because that goes back to Issachar, Yashashkar, which means he is hired, right? They don't consider, they don't go into the prophecies. and they don't like take the initiative to or the time out to to look into these things. So they still rather be called Hispanic, which Hispanic means to pertain to Spain, which we know that the Spaniards conquered Mexico. So it makes perfect sense why you still call yourself an Hispanic, because you still have that lodged in your brain. That's embedded deep in your soul and your spirit. Oh, you can't tell me nothing, because Jake don't want to hear nothing. Hosea 4:6 says that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And now that you mentioned Psalm 83, you could jump into it, because these nations have sought to cut us off for forever. All right, they have sought to cut us off from our biblical nationality, which they fail to do that because the Lord is raising us back up. That's why you see a plethora and an army of Israelites waking up, whether we have disagreements or not. You have the Sakari, you have the HOIs, you have the Lions of Israel, you have the Sons of Thunder, and all these Israelite camps that they're out there. They're teaching our people who they are according to the Bible.
Right. That's that net being cast out.
Exactly. The net in the sea. Okay? The net in the sea. That's right. You got it.
God.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
I'm holding Proverbs 16:16. It reads, "How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver." But hey, a simple nigga, a simple Jake will walk by and he'll turn his cheek, see what brothers are talking about, and then run the other way because somebody's handing out gold. They're simple minded. Jake thinks that's gonna solve his problems. But Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Go for it, Doc.
No, that's right. You said it. You got it.
Oh, con. Yeah, so they value physical, tangible items versus this information we go on live streams to bring out through the spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi.
Right. They value the cookout over the truth. Like, say if you got an Israelite station, some in a downtown area, right, and you got a cookout, like maybe like about 30, 40, 50 feet away or down the street somewhere. They giving you in that cookout. They got shrimp, you got fried shrimp, you got calamari, you got crabs, you got snow crabs, and Jake love that shit. So they gonna be like, man, fuck what they talking about. Let me go over here and get what I gotta get. So Jake overlooks, and they really don't want to. What I'm saying? They rather choose death and over life, all right? Because these words are life. But Esau's ways, these cookouts. Not saying it's wrong to get with brothers and cook out. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about as far as like how these people get down in the world. You know what I'm saying? They'll bypass you and go to the Christian that's passing out a pamphlet. A pamphlet's about how white Jesus loves everybody, which that ain't even biblical. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Bypass you, like, you ain't got nothing to tell me. I don't want to hear that I'm an Israelite. All right. I want to hear something smooth. I want to hear that real smooth message, something that attracts me.
Right, makes me feel good for the moment. They want to laugh now, cry later.
Exactly.
That's
that feel good. Exactly. Yeah, you got it.
Con. And I wanted to mention, so that's why the Lord, He's already 10 steps, a million infinite steps ahead of Jake, because as much as these bywords and proverbs, affect us, they're doing nothing but carrying out those bywords and proverbs by being simple. Hey, we're literally, through the spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, we're proving that we ain't just some Mexican, some Puerto Rican, some so-called Negro. We're none of these things by putting on this armor, this spiritual word. And since I mentioned that, I'm gonna grab this one right quick. This is Psalm 119.
You were in Psalm 83.
Yeah. I'm holding it right here, but
you got to grab.
No. You could grab it after this one. Here's another one right quick. Psalm 119, verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. Hey, so naturally, we're called to have a perfect hatred. So we hate, just seeing our people, without this knowledge. So through the Spirit, there's a time and place, as the brother had mentioned. We sometimes, brothers, you can get together and eat, but there's a time and place for everything. The best thing to do is do it, the brother and me are doing. We're spiritually eating this word and giving it out. So hey, there's a time and place, and right now, man, we're in the time to wake up. We're not whenever Yahawashi had left the scene and we were just still Gentile minded, discontinued, and we're returning now. This is the time of returning. But go for it, Doc.
Right. Scripture tell you it's high time to awake out of sleep, meaning wake out of your spiritual sleep. Isaiah 10 says that only a remnant shall return. All Israelites are not going to return. So all Israelites are still, they're not going to return. You're going to have Israelites that are still going to, until they get destroyed, they're going to be calling themselves black. They're going to be calling themselves Hispanic. They're going to be calling themselves Latino. They're going to be calling themselves Chileans, Argentinians, no Cubans.
Oriental.
It looked like your side froze up.
Oh, kind. Let me pull it up on the pad.
No, it froze up on the phone.
Yeah,
but not over here though. But I can still hear you.
Yeah, that's strange.
I guess when I upload the video, Lord willing, when I upload the video, everything will go good.
God.
Okay, you're back.
God.
All right, we were holding it's we don't want to flood the video with too many precepts. It's a lot.
Right.
Let's go to Psalm 83, the one you were holding.
God.
See, the thing is with these nations, they're not gonna tell you who you are. They're not gonna tell you who you are. Henry, like the guy that just died a few days back, Henry Kissinger, he died at the age of 100 years old. He was the Secretary of State for, I believe, Kennedy or one of those presidents or something like that. And he said that he's mentioned the wandering Jews of West Africa, because they know who we are. Some of them, the Lord does put it in their mind and in their mouth to agree and to make their own tongues fall upon themselves and to say who the hell we are, you know what I mean, to bring it out. But a lot of these Edomites are not gonna say who we are because they're trying to keep that concealed. They don't want Jake to wake up. And and it's a must. We must bring out Lord's will. Later on, what's that? Revelation 11. All right, that great army and the people stood in fear. The Lord is raising up a great army. Ezekiel 37. Well, you got it up.
God. Psalm 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Now, to cut off, meaning they want to do away with you. They want to do away with you. They don't want you calling yourself an Israelite, right? Because Esau is more at ease. These Edomites and these nations are more at ease when you call yourself black. When you're into Christianity, when you're into Islam, when you're into Hinduism, you can call yourself a Black Panther. They don't mind, because they could always demolish the Black Panther movement. But this Israelite thing, they can't do that with us. If Acts 5 tells you that, if it be of the Most High, who can overthrow it? So they can't do that with us. You know what I'm saying? Because once you got that identity and once you have that lodged in your mind, they can't really take that out of you. They can't dissolve that out of your brain. It's going to stick in you and it's going to be in you. You know what I'm saying? Because once you wake up, don't go back to sleep. You don't want to go back to sleep. You don't want to be in this thing and be like, okay, I'm black again, or I'm going to just celebrate Christmas, or I'm going to celebrate Halloween or New Year's. No, we don't want to be in that spirit. All right? Once an Israelite, always an Israelite. No matter if you call yourself, you know what I mean? You got to continue pursuing this thing and push hard, because these devils don't want you. That's why there's so many brothers go through demonic attacks, because these devils want that word out of your mind, But Yahawashi said what? That word is going to dwell in you richly. As long as he's with you, Yahawashi is going to make that word dwell in you. He's going to give you that word, all right? It's going to dwell in you richly. It richly means abundantly. It's going to be in you. That's why out of our belly flows rivers of living water. You know, and it's, it's a joy. It's a joy when you have all these people passing by you at camp, and you're like the lone sheep out there. You're like the lonely guy out there by yourself. Okay, I'm not talking about with 20, 30 dudes with a bullhorn, a microphone. Some brothers don't have that luxury. We don't got that. But by yourself, and you got all these people coming up to you, Palestinians, these Arabs, these Ishmaelites, these Edomites, these Moabites, and all these people coming up to you at camp, and they come up to you to inquire, and you're telling them who the hell they are according to the Bible, because they don't know. They don't even know. They don't even have, a lot of these nations don't even have an identity. A lot of Ishmaelites don't know they go back to Ishmael. A lot of them do, but a lot of them don't. These Moabites don't know they go back to Moab. These Chinese people, these Ammonites don't know they go back to, these Japanese don't know they go back to Ammon, right? But it's a joy that you have that wisdom in you. You know what I'm saying? You have that wisdom in you. And you know who you are, you know who they are. And they be like, damn, this guy right here knows what the hell he's talking about. You know, that's a joy. So you don't want to neglect a greater salvation. So this knowledge, you don't want to neglect that. You don't want to neglect that. Man.
God, knock. That's beautifully said. Hey, that's why the scriptures say give attendance to reading. That's how we came across this information. For the longest, it was sealed. And if we did read it, the Spirit wasn't on us at the time. And now, hey, the Lord's opened up the gate, spiritual gates.
Right. This the floodgate. This this word is gushing out of us. Like when a brother does a video, he'll like go back to his video. He'll go back to the video and he'll listen to everything he said. He might think that he fucked up and he said this wrong and that wrong and it didn't come out right the way he wanted to come out. Then you go back and be like, damn, that is power. Because you rejoice in his words. You go back to your own video. You watch your own video, like, man, this is something powerful. Like, wow. Sometimes you're like, am I giving too much? Should I fall back? Should I ease up? Because you got listeners, like you got all these new listeners that tune in and watch these videos, and sometimes you might feel like, damn, you're giving them too much. But hey, look, man, you got to be like a sponge, though. Like these guys, those that are newly into this thing, you got to be like a sponge. You got to observe all these things. You know what I'm saying? You got to observe all these things and take it in, man. Before the famine of the word, before you had, before Esau takes down the internet.
Right. Hey,
videos. Yep.
With the way you described that, it made me think of the word channel. When you were going into how we make videos and when you watch them, it's like, man, like it almost feels like you're not even watching yourself, or it's like just something channeled in. But when you look up that word channeled on etymology, it says bed of a stream of water. And it also says this, that by which something passes or is transmitted. Hey, we're transmitting this information through the spirit of Yahawah, Yahawashi. So that's heavy, it's all spiritual stuff. Because
one of the apostles.
Go for it, Doc.
Yeah. One of the apostles, I believe I know it's in the gospel, which the whole Bible is the gospel, but one of the apostles said he was taught, so now you could teach others, because he taught you, he was taught that, you know what I'm saying? So it goes from one man to we teach, we feed off each other. You know what I'm saying? No man is better than each other. You know what I'm saying? We learn, we grow, and we feed others, This is not a competition. Whatever you know, whatever you don't, you don't. This is not a competition. I'm going to try to outdo the next man. Oh, this guy's on my comment board. But he's not on his comment board. Like some most childish shit, like I give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like the Lord, he don't care about how many, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think Yahawashi cared about how many people followed him? Whoever followed him was predestined to follow him. That was his sheep. Like, we're not supposed to like care about the internet, and this is not a competition. Yes, we get the word out through the internet, through the unicorn, but it's not a competition. How many guys come on my comment board? How many subscribers I got? Some guys are stuck in the social media thing. Like we mentioned, the wrench demon. Like, I don't give a fuck about who got a wrench a wrench. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about that. I want to do the works. Okay, we're here to do the works. We're not here to please nobody. Oh, look what I can do. Okay, I'm gonna take them off the comment board for you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Yahawashi hates that shit. That's just pride. It's pride.
Right.
You know, you gotta let you know we ain't biting our tongues for nobody.
Even how King Solomon put it. I've been meditating on it recently. Everything's vanity. Like, this is all a bunch, everything except this truth, except what we got right here. It's all has its moment, and then it's gone. So it's really about, hey, getting to the kingdom. And as the brother said, there's no competition per se amongst the body, but within yourself. You're really your own worst enemy. Go for that.
The scripture's clear. You know what I hate? Seeing titles like such and such verse, such and such. Such and such verse, such and such verse, such and such. Guys are still in that mentality. Like, if they have somebody watching their videos, okay, that they're actually in the right spirit, because somebody, shit, all of y'all could be off in the spirit, and the Lord is just using all, the 2/3
Let
to
every
come
man
together.
be a liar. Come, Romans 3.
Let God be true and every man be a liar. The Lord is a mastermind setting people up. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to discourage brothers. I mean, if we all got something to work on. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord can do that. He doesn't care about views and how many people watch your videos. Guys, you got guys out there with 1 million subscribers. You got people that make these videos, what they call it, like the hood pranks. Right. They got like 1 million, multi-million subscribers. Like, the Lord doesn't care about that shit. That's worldly. You know what I'm saying? You cannot have that mentality in the truth. But let's continue in the lesson now. Where we leave off? Psalm 83, right?
Yes, cut. So just
then after that, we're gonna go into a list of the origins of these proverbs and bywords. I'll look them up as we speak. You got it up, and you can break it down if you want.
Continuing with Psalms 83.
Yeah.
I'll read it once again. Psalm 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Man.
In verse 5, for they consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. So that's just going into how all these nations, despite their disagreements, they agree Israel shouldn't be a remembrance. So that what they have done is they've created this program, this 12-month system they got with January to December of a bunch of folly days. They focus on your birthday, idol worshiping, making yourself to be an idol, throwing crosses everywhere, then calling it godly. All these things to distract you from the actual word. That's all we've been relying on is the Lord's word, because He said it. It ain't about what 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐿 says. It ain't about what Yahawah says. It ain't about us, man. It's about what these scriptures say and the true message that's being delivered. That's what they've blocked out from the Israelites, because we're the only ones who can really teach it. We're the ones that can understand it and carry it out. That's why Yahawashi was sent as an Israelite for Israelites. For us, by us.
I got you.
Go for it,
Since you mentioned that, I got you. Let me get one for you right quick.
God.
This is Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7. Let's start at verse 7. I'll read verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. So the Lord is using us as vessels to teach our fellow Israelites, right? For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. So we are priests. Okay, you don't have to be from the tribe of Levi to be called a priest. What does a priest do? He serves. He's a servant. He's a minister. We're ministers. Didn't the Lord say in the book of Psalms that has made his ministers a flame of fire? Minister means to serve. That's what minister means. You got it.
God, I wanted to mention.
All right, so we tell you not only to know who you are biblically, but to also keep the laws. We're not telling you to break the laws.
Right.
Okay, we're not telling you to go eat pork. We're not telling you to do that. Okay, we're not telling you to break the laws. You got to keep the laws. That's mandatory.
Right.
Right? If you could keep those laws, keep them. No, that's mandatory. Don't just blatantly break the law because you feel like, you know what I'm saying? You want to willfully sin. You want to do what the hell you think is right in your own eyes. You want to keep the laws,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
You're
want to
basically
learn the names of the Heavenly Father. You want to keep the laws. You want to, you know, follow the dress code. Um, keep the holy days. Okay?
exactly. It's baby steps, and whenever you willfully go out and go against these laws, statutes, and commandments that brothers have taught you through the Spirit, you're openly rebelling. You're telling the Lord no. You're telling brothers no. You're telling Yahawashi no. And what do you want him to tell you when he shows up? Yes, yes, you're gonna be with me. Nah, he's gonna tell you no. So that's why we're called to have fear of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Ayok, but I want to grab the next verse, Malachi chapter 2, verse 8. It reads, "But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts." And that's the majority of our people. They departed out of the way, and we all did. But now we're called to come back in the way, and that takes
Right.
commitment. It takes a cleansing. It takes a change. But a lot of Jakes, man, it's all talk. It's easy to say you're going to do it, but it's all a matter of doing it.
Right. You gotta be washed with this word. Like the book of Ephesians says, being washed thoroughly from your impurities. All right? Being washed from the impurity of Christianity. That's a deadly drug. That drug right there tops crack cocaine any day. Right? You got to be washed from Islam. You have to be washed thoroughly from these religions that you were taught back in the world. See, when you come into this thing, you have to be renewed in your mind. You have to walk in the right spirit. All right. Let's jump back to Psalm 83 and let's go into the list of those nations, and then
God,
we could jump to the
the
list.
article.
We'll go to Proverbs and bywords, and yeah.
God. So just jumping right back, Psalm 83. Once again, I'll just start with verse 3 and then read on down. Psalm 83, verse 3, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." And this is how you know it's Jake it's dealing with, because we're hidden. We didn't know. Ourselves were hidden from ourselves. It says, "They have
Right.
said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the
Okay.
Ishmaelites."
Now let's do one at a time with the names. Now, Edom, the tabernacles of Edom. Why do you think it starts with the Edomites first? Because they were the ones that first conspired against us. When we came out of Egypt, it was Amalek there first. It was Amalek. When we went into the Babylonian captivity, Esau was encouraging the Babylonians to destroy us. See, Esau got all nations together to conspire against us. That's why all these nations, until this day, conspire against us. They conspire against us.
It makes sense too why
And,
Esau and Judah, the two heads of both the
right,
right hand and the left hand. That's why they're always going
right,
at it. I believe
right.
Ezekiel 36 mentions that as well. That
Or 37.
perpetual hatred. What is that, Ak?
Oh, Ezekiel
Yeah,
36, right.
Con. They have that perpetual hatred. So it's just installed in their DNA to hate Jake, beginning with the head tribe Judah, which Yahawashi has sprang from.
Right.
But let's read. It says, "And the Ishmaelites."
Right. Now, the Ishmaelites are the Arabs. Now, you have multiple Arabian tribes. All right. Arab just means mixed. And you got Cushites that lived in Arabia. They could be also called Arabians, but they're not Ishmaelites or, but like Sheba. Like Sheba, that was someone who came out of Cush. That was like one of the sons or descendants of the Cushites or the Hamites. And they lived in Arabia, but the Ishmaelites are the Arabs. What do? All right, Esau, I forgot to mention that Esau, he gives you Christianity, right? Ishmael, he gives you Muhammad. He gives you the Quran. He gives you the Hadith, right? He gives you the Quran. That's not your book. He gives you the Kaaba. Like Snoop Dogg, I believe he goes to the he makes a pilgrimage to Mecca once a year, to the Kaaba stone, to Mecca, right? Or to the Black Stone. They give you that, because our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They give you in Islam, they tell you that anything that comes out of the sea is edible. So you can eat shrimp or the lake. You can eat shrimp. You can eat crabs. You can eat whatever. Those. That's why if you go to a halal, so-called halal store, they'll feed you shrimp. They'll feed you shrimp. I used to eat that shit back in the world. They'll give you shrimp, or what I'm saying, some dirty ass shrimp and some dirty ass oil. Fried shrimp. But in our book, that's forbidden. All right, that's haram in our book, in the Bible. Okay, haram means forbidden in Arabic. It means forbidden, or in Islam. But you're not supposed to break those dietary laws, which Jake breaks those dietary laws. They're into what? Into Islam. That's why, a lot of you Jakes call yourself Muslims, right? We could go in on these Ishmaelites, but let's jump to the next one.
Right. Hey, no, this one's no better. It says of Moab. We know Moab, the so-called Chinese.
Oh my God, that's even worse now with the
Yeah.
food. Moab, the Chinese. You go to a Chinese store, you got shrimp rolls, you got pork rolls, okay? You got shrimp fried rice. I used to eat that shit back in the world, so I know. Okay. Now the Moabites don't really have like like Jake doesn't really follow Moabite traditions like that, but look what they do. Moabites, they have like nail salons, they have hair salons and weave, and they sell you weave. They sell our women weave products, which the black woman is the #1 weave consumer. They what else they give you?
I know
Right? They
the
sell you
cat, dog, the mice.
they sell you cats, they sell you dogs. You don't even know what you're eating. Those times that I went into I remember buying some Chinese food years ago, and I was eating my food in front of the porch, in front of the house, and there was a big fly head, like a half a fly, like
Damn.
his head, the green fly, like chopped up or whatever. Like that shit is disgusting. Then one time I ordered some Chinese food from another restaurant. There was a roach in there. See, that's fucking disgusting. See, Chinese people, they don't have a conscience. See, they don't be like, ooh, that's nasty. No, they eating anything that they can get their hands on. You Jakes are not to be like that. That's why the Lord doesn't want you to be like none of these nations, because you're a special people. Deuteronomy 7:6 says we're above all people. But you Jakes, here it is. You Jakes want to be like everybody under the sun but yourselves.
Yeah,
Let's jump to the next one.
God. It says in the Hagarenes, Salakia, Haganes.
The Hagarenes. The Hagarenes are also Arabs. Are also Arabs, if I can remember correctly, or Hamites or Arabs. But yeah, jump to the next one. We'll skip that one because I forget. No, they are because Ishmael came out of Hagar. Of course, Abraham was Ishmael's father. But go ahead, jump to the next one up.
God, Gabal.
Gebal is a Edomite family. It's like a tribe of Esau. Because Edomite. The Edomites. It's about to mention Amalek next. I mentioned Amalek. Read Amalek.
God. Gebal and Ammon and Amalek.
No. Okay. It mentions Gebal. I thought it was going to mention Amalek after Gebal, but Gebal are Edomites, right? The Edomites have multiple tribes. It's just not the Amalekites. It wasn't just the Amalekites. You know what I'm saying? The Edomites have multiple tribes. Right. So Gebal was one of them. So you have multiple Edomite families. Go on.
God. So Gebal and Ammon.
See, Esau gave you Christianity, right? All these Edomites, when the Spaniards conquered the known world, they gave you Christianity or they gave you Catholicism. You know, they gave you Catholicism, which Catholicism or Catholic means universal. Okay, they gave you a monotheistic God according to their mind. All right, according to them. All right, our God is is we have one God, but our God is not for all people. Our God is for us. See, they want you to be like Islam, which Islam got their a lot of the things that Islam got came from the Roman Catholics. All right, they want you to believe in a one God for all people, all humanity. But Yahawashi is not for all humanity. Yahawashi is only for us, only for the Israelites. And it clearly tells you that from the beginning of the book to the end of the book.
God.
We're telling you that the Lord is only for the Israelites. He has not dealt so with any nation.
God.
Got it out.
God. So it says, an Ammon, an Amalek, the Philistines.
Now, Ammon. Now, hold on. Now, Ammon are the Japanese. The same thing with the Japanese. They got something called blackface in Japan, right? Jake taught the Japanese that what they call that is a martial laws, some type of what they call that shit in Japan with the karate or whatever they call that shit.
Kung
It's not
Fu.
karate, it's something else. Martial arts. But in Japan, Jake, they look up to Jake. They look up to that. You had that slave from Mozambique that was taken there by Jesuits or so-called priests to Japan as a slave, and the Japanese looked up to this guy. They looked up to this guy like, damn, this guy right here is very talented. He's very talented. You know what I mean? Because everybody looks up to us because we're the salt of the earth. Even if you're a slave or not, everybody looks up to us, whether for good or bad.
That's true. So it goes in and it says, the Philistines with the inhabitants.
No, Amalek.
Oh, yeah. Ammon and Amalek.
Yeah. Amalek. Right. Wait. Amalek is before the Philistines?
Yeah. It goes Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines.
Okay, now Amalek. Now the Amalekites are these gutter rats or these Jewish gutter rats. Now our people want to. They try to cut us off too. Now they call themselves Jews, but they're not the real Jews. The blacks in America are from the tribe of Judah. They're the real Jews. Now the Amalekites call themselves Jews, but they're not Jews. Anytime you ask these fake Jews, what does the word Jew mean? They have no idea. Or they call themselves Israelis or Jewish. And so that's the only answer they give you. It's always they call themselves Jews. What happened to all the tribes? What happened to Naphtali? What happened to Asher? What happened to Zebulon? Where are all these tribes at? They're not in the land. So you got to question these things. Why is it's always Benjamin or however they pronounce Benjamin or Levi or Yahuda or Yahudi or Yahuda? Right? So, right, they try to cut us off. Okay, now they took on your identity. Now you're calling yourself by black and they're calling themselves by Jews. You got it out.
God. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Right, the Philistines. Okay, my bad. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, those are the Hamites. They did the same thing. What? They shipped you Jakes here, they helped to get you shipped here to the Americas because a lot of the Africans sold you into captivity. All right, if you look back at the history of Egypt, Mizraim, now we were slaves in Egypt, right? And these Africans, what? They had you captive, right? You were slaving in hot ass weather. Obviously, there wasn't no damn crackers underneath that hot ass sun. All right, you were slaves, what, in Africa, in North Africa or Egypt, right? Underneath what, the Mizraim. But the Africans as a whole were always your enemies. All right, you're not African. All right, stop calling yourself an African American. Okay, that's the name of two slave owners, whether you think so or not. I've heard Israelite camps say that Africa goes back to Afir, right? Afid. Okay, whether you say that, but that's still not a biblical nationality. So you're calling yourself African American, which America goes back to Americo Vespucci. You know, Americo Vespucci. So that's not your biblical nationality. But the Africans are your enemies. All right. It
Con.
tells you that the Lord is gonna what? Sell them in the kingdom. We're gonna be selling them in the kingdom. All right. So that was one of the nations that cut us off. Now, what they did in Africa, they hunted Jakes down. That's what the Africans did. They hunted us down in Africa, and they helped like the Portuguese and like the British put us on those slave ships. All right, and that's why they could come here. See, Africa could come here to America and make money off you. They could sell you a fake ass Fendi bag, a Fendi hoodie, or a Fendi sweater, and you know what I'm saying. And you'll buy that shit for like $10, and that's gonna break and bust on you. You know what I'm saying. You put a little bit of money or whatever in there, that's just falling out the bag. You know, it's like you can't ever get ahead in this society because everybody's over you. You know.
Con.
Yeah, a
It
little
goes
more on that.
Con. Assur also is joined with them.
Right, Ashur are the Assyrians, right?
Con. They have hope in the children of Lot.
Now the children of Lot or Moab and Ammon. Right. Let's jump to, okay. Let's get the list.
Con.
I'm gonna just randomly pick any country or any right location, right? That you Jakes reside in. Now, Argentina. Let's start with Argentina first. The name, now the Argentinians go back to the tribe of Naphtali. Okay, or Chile, the Chilean, Chile, Argentina, they go back to the tribe of Naphtali, right? It says here, the name is derived from the Latin argentum, which means silver. So you Argentinian, you call yourself an Argentinian. So basically, you're calling yourself silver. Hi ho, silver. You call yourself silver, right? The first use of the name Argentina can be traced to the voyages of the Spanish conquerors to the Rio de la Plata. When did this happen? Around the 1500s AD. All right, that's when they conquer you, Jakes. Let's get start with Job 9:24. If you could bring that out real quick, Job 9:24 about the shop. Let me finish reading this though. The explorers who shipwrecked in Juan Diaz de Solis. That's why a lot of Jakes got the name of Diaz or Juan or Rodriguez. Expedition found native communities in the region who gave them silver presents. So they called Argentina. Argentina means silver. So the country in Southwest America literally means silver. So anytime you run into a Argentinian or someone that calls himself Argentinian, ask them what that means. Argentinian, you break it down to them. So you're telling me your biblical nationalities are silver? Come on now. Come on now. That's the damn shame.
Con. This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Break
If
it down
not,
now. Break it down
con,
now. I'm gonna find this other one in Revelation. You got it.
con. Once again, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So referring back to the head tribe of the wicked, Esau Edom. He's known as the border of wickedness. It says he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. The ultimate judge is Yahawashi. And that's who this world calls every name but Yahawashi. You know, I don't even want to mention his name, but it begins with the letter J. That's who they call the Son of God. And they give you images of Esau, Edom, Cesare Borgia. But it says, if not, where and who is he? So this is like a bit of sarcasm. Like, so who is it? You tell me. If this isn't the chief of the wicked who runs the world, you know, then who is it? And then that's why people, you know, they they tend to play stupid and everyone could be wicked, and that's true. But the chief, the top dog, who taught us Christmas, Valentine's, women worship, all these things, that's the chief of the wicked. He does everything in reverse to what what Yahawah had intended us to do, and that's why it's important to pay attention to this word. Go for that.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 7. and it was given unto him. Oh yeah, and what the brother read, that ties in with the timeline of like 1350, 1400 AD, 1450 AD. All right, prior to that, it was the Dark Ages or the Holy Roman Empire or the Byzantine Empire. All right, when Jake was ruling, then Esau came back into power around the Renaissance, which Renaissance means rebirth. That's when Esau came back into power. That's when they started giving you Christianity. Christianity started with one of our forefathers named Constantine the Great. He was wicked, or Constantine the Great, but Catholicism or the Esau gave you Christianity really heavily during the time of the Renaissance. All right, that's why you go to church on Sunday, which Sunday goes back to the sun god. Okay, that's why you still follow a Monday through Sunday or a Sunday, your version of a Sunday Sabbath, or Sunday is a day of rest. If you look at the AD 60 calendar, there's something called the AD 60 calendar, where you have, when the Romans completely changed the calendar around, a Wednesday used to be a Sunday, a Tuesday used to be a Thursday, whatever it was, but it was all awkward. It's just completely out of order. All right, they gave you Christmas, they gave you January through December. You know, they gave you Santa Claus, and Jake loves Santa Claus. You know, Jake's love religion. Jake's love getting with the family and opening up presents. They gave you Nimrod. Right. They gave you the Babylonian deities. All right, but it says Revelation 13:7. It was given unto him. The him doesn't mean one person. It means the nation of Edom, to make war with the saints. Now, when you read the Bible, the saints are Israelites. So he made war with us and to overcome them. And power was given him, or the Edomites, over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Now the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. That happened around the 1400 AD. Right? So he conquered and overcame the saints. Right? That's one way he overcame us through by he gave us religion. He concealed our biblical identity, and he called you. That's why a lot of Jake's Argentinian will call himself what? Hispanic. He'll call himself Hispanic or a Latino, which right. Latin is a language from the Roman Empire. Jake spoke Latin till this day. We still speak Latin, or the Greek language, or Latin, or they call himself Hispanic, which Hispanic means to pertain to Spain. So you're calling yourself after the same people that conquered you.
Right. Yeah, it's like a slap in the face. And, yep. And that ultimate slap in the face of Jake continues to go in that wickedness is the ICBMs. That's going to put an end to all this. So that's a beautiful point the brother had made with the Santa Claus. You can't make this stuff up. A little testimony. Yeah, my in-laws, that 20 Santas, I kid you not, the living room's probably about the size of this room. And 20 Santa Claus. It's like, I feel like, that's a physical embodiment of all the spirits that, the wickedness that's around there. And they're just all looking, and I just want to, go break them. But hey, this is the time where we're supposed to be patient. So, but the Lord's return is the Lord's payback.
We gotta be patient. We gotta be patient.
Exactly, but it's vexing,
That's right. Let's jump to the next one.
Okay.
See if you can look for a precept that says they should be called by another name.
By another name.
I believe there's something in the Apocryphal or in the Torah or in the Tanakh or in the Old Testament that says they should be called by another name. But I'm gonna just randomly pick another country.
Okay.
This is Venezuela. Now the Venezuelans go back to the tribe of Asher. They go back to the tribe of Asher. It says here, etymology. According to the most popular and accepted version, in 1499, an expedition led by Alonso de Ojeda visited the Venezuelan coast. The stilt houses in an area of Lake Maracaibo reminded the Italian navigator Americo Vespucci. Okay, people now call themselves American. I'm Latin American. Don't people call themselves Latin American?
God.
Or I'm Mesoamerican. Meso means Middle American. What the hell is that ain't no biblical nationality. I'm Middle American. a medical Vespucci, right, of the city of Venice, Italy. So he named the region Venezuela or Little Venice. So Venezuela was named after Venice, Italy. So it makes sense that why you serve a white God. It makes sense why you worship or bow down to a white Jesus. Because what? If you go back to the history of Italy, that's where the Renaissance started. And the picture of Cesare Borgia is what? A Renaissance is Renaissance art. So it makes sense why the Northern Kingdom is so heavy into that. Like why Ephraim, oh, let's get that one. Puerto Rico. With that, we could go into the book of Hosea all day with the tribe of Ephraim, but the origin of the country, Puerto Rico, whoa, Puerto Rico, whoa. All right, it says here, Puerto Rico, right? Now the tribe of now the Puerto Ricans or so-called Puerto Ricans go back and are 100% are from the tribe of Ephraim, Aparyam, which means fruitful. That's what Ephraim means in Hebrew. It means fruitful. Reason why it means fruitful because they got so many children, right? All right. And who tried to exterminate the Ephraimites? All right, I'm jumping the gun here, but Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus arrived in Puerto Rico in 1493 during his second voyage to the New World. Initially, Columbus christened the island San Juan Bautista, St. John the Baptist. The name was soon changed to Puerto Rico or Rich Port. So you got Ephraimite call themselves Puerto Rican. Puerto Rico is not a biblical nationality. It means rich port. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Rich Port? Yeah. But your ass broke as hell. When you had that hurricane a few years back over there in Puerto Rico, Trump went to go visit, and you know what he was doing? He was passing out and throwing y'all toilet paper. That's how much these Edomites care about you. He'd take a roll of toilet paper. Go wipe your ass or something. That's what they think about you. All right. And by the way, Puerto Rico has one of the highest murder rates in the world and gun violence. There's a video on YouTube that there's a video on YouTube of gun violence in Puerto Rico that happened in a bar, right? You had some Jakes, some Ephraimites hanging out, and they were fighting against another rival gang. They came back with a car. They shot up the dudes that were sitting and drinking, and those other guys had weapons too. They was busting off and shooting at the other group. And the guys, they made an overkill, right? The one gang killed the other gang. They were over. They came back in a car. They got hopped out the car, whatever. They came back, boom, boom, shot over them. And after they were dead. See, Jake, that goes back to the curses. Your eyes should be evil towards your brother. You know? You are Israelites. You Puerto Ricans are Israelites. Okay? You can call yourself a Taino all you want. That's not a biblical nationality. You can call yourself Arawak. You can call yourself a Boricua all you want, which I believe Boricua means brave Lord. Something like that. But it's spiritual, of course, but your biblical nationality is not Boricuan and it's not Taino. It's Ephraim. Okay, so all right, let's pick another random one. Let's go to Trinidad. Now the Trinidadians are from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, now Trinidad, you go back to the tribe of Benjamin. Now the tribe of Benjamin is which would be the people that live in Jamaica, Trinidad, Bermuda, Bahamas. Right? So Trinidad. The title Trinidad originated with Christopher Columbus. You can't make this stuff up. Who named it after the Holy Trinity, which the Holy Trinity or the Trinity is not biblical according to the Bible, right? Because Yahawashi is not the Heavenly Father. When he encountered the territory in July of 1498. So basically, you're calling yourself, anytime you call yourself a Trinidadian, or whether you live in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, the islands of Trinidad and Tobago, you're calling yourself Trinity. Hey, what's up? Hey, Trinity, what's up? Trinity? Trinity is not a biblical nationality. Let's jump to the next one.
God.
Let's jump to the next one. Let's jump to Bahama, right? Babakusha. Grab the word for beast in the Hebrew. Babakusha.
God.
Go into like Psalm. Go like in the book of Psalms in the word for beast.
God. God. Is it 𝐷𝐿𝐴?
Nah, say that again.
The Hebrew word for beast, 𝐷𝐿𝐴?
Bahama.
Bahama.
Bahama. Bahama.
Bahama.
So anytime you call yourself Bahama, now I believe the name though, it also came from the Spanish. Oh, it says it means shallow sea. Shallow sea. But that is spiritual, right? They now the people of Bahamas also go back to the tribe of Benjamin. It's spiritual. Because the word for beast is Bahama. Bahama. Bahamas. So basically, anytime you call yourself Bahamian or however you say it, you're calling yourself a beast. All right, let me jump to the next one. Now, Jamaica, right? Which is also the tribe of Benjamin. They call themselves Jamaican, right? They call themselves Jamaican. Jamaican just means a land of wood and water. So basically, anytime you call yourself Jamaican, you're calling yourself the land of I'm a wood and water. I'm wood and water. I'm wood and water. All right? Let's jump to the next one. Look up the word for iron. IRON in Old Testament, not Babakusha. Now Brazil, right? Now you got Jake's, the tribe of Asher. They call themselves Brazilians. Okay, which Brazil is not a biblical nationality. Now the Portuguese, I believe they named it Brazil Wood. Brazil Wood, but which is not a biblical nationality. But I want the brother to grab the word for iron in the Old Testament.
God, this is the Hebrew word iron. It is barazal.
Barazal, perfect. God, that's it. Barazal. Barazal, Barazal, Barazal. Now, you can't call yourself Barazal because that's not a biblical nationality. So anytime you call yourself Brazilian, you're calling yourself Barazal, iron, or you're calling yourself Brazil wood. That's completely wrong. Let's jump to the next one. Let's jump to Ecuador. Now the tribe, now the Ecuadorians go back to the tribe of Asher. All right, Ecuador. Check this out. This one is sad. It's funny, but it's sad. It's sad at the same time. And the reason why I say it's funny is because the name Ecuador originated from a hold on. It means it was named for the equator. So anytime you name yourself Ecuador, you're calling yourself the equator. Ecuador's name comes from the Spanish word for equator, which means equator. Equator, I mean, not equator, equator. So anytime you call yourself an Ecuadorian, you're calling yourself equator. What's up, equator? You see how lost our people are? The scriptures call our people lost sheep. Yahawashi came to recover the lost sheep. None of these nations came to restore our biblical nationality. Let's bring this precept out right quick. I don't know if you're holding something, but let me bring this out. This Isaiah It's Isaiah 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled, which are where the Israelites are robbed and spoiled. They are all of them, what they stole our biblical nationality from us. They took our resources. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth for a spoil, and none saith restore. That word for restore in the Hebrew is shawab, which means to return back to. Well, that's one of the definitions, but they ain't no Edomite gonna tell you who the hell you are. You're an Ecuadorian at Equator. My biblical nationality is Equator. I'm Equator. I'm on because I'm on the equator. Come on now. Come on now. Let me jump to the next one. Let's jump. Pick one. Pick one.
I was trying to find that list. What list are you using, Doc?
Now I'm just looking the origin of the name such and such, or you can go to the island etymology and look up the origin of these words. I just randomly go into.
Yeah, I thought you had a list. I was like,
right.
We can
I'm just randomly just picking a country or a location, and it's gonna give you the right information.
We can do
origin of the name. Let's go to Panama.
Okay.
Now the Panamanians go back to the tribe of Zebulon. That's who the Panamanians are. Okay, don't forget what happened during the time of the Panama deception. Okay, how these devils fucked you Panamanians or the tribe of Zebulon up. They desecrated your bodies. They ran over you with tankers. Look up, watch the video, the Panamanian deception or the Panama deception. They were literally showing Panamanians getting ran over with U.S. tankers after they were dead. All right. For Panama's earliest inhabitants, fishing was central to life. It is therefore not surprising that the name Panama comes from an indigenous word. Okay, it says here an indigenous, meaning them, they probably named it after themselves, word that translates to abundance of fish. So anytime you call yourself a Panamanian, you're calling yourself abundance of fish. The exploration of Panama began early in the 16th century when Spanish explorer Rodrigo de Bastidas arrived on the isthmus in 1501. So anytime you call yourself a Panamanian, you're calling yourself abundance of fish. Oh my God, man, this is bad. This is bad. Let's get to the next one. Let's pick one. Suriname.
Cuba. Okay.
Suriname. Now, who's Suriname? I forget where they go back to. Maybe Asher. Maybe Asher or Judah, because there's a lot of Judites in Suriname. But Suriname, the origin of Suriname. Why is it called Suriname? It says Suriname derives from the people called Suriname, who inhabited the area at the time of European contact. Of course, but it's not your biblical nationality. Let's jump to the next one.
Okay.
Colombia. Did we get Colombia?
No, I don't believe so.
No, we did not. No, did we? All right, Colombia goes back to Christopher Columbus. I believe we did get that one. If not, all right, bring it out again. Chile. All right, the origin of the name Chile may come from the indigenous Aymara word Chile, meaning where the lands end. So anytime you call yourself a Chilean, it means where the lands end. That's your biblical nationality, I guess. Obviously not. No. Let's go to the next one. Let's pick one now. Guatemala. Guatemala will also be from the tribe of Zebulon. The name Guatemala actually means land of trees. In the Maya, because the Mayans were there, Toltec language. So it means the land of trees. Anytime you call yourself a Guatemalan, you're calling yourself the land of trees. Hi, I'm the land of trees. I'm the land of trees. That's all. Damn.
Right.
That's why the Bible says my people does not consider. Next one. Uh,
Have you looked up the Dominicans?
oh man, no, I did not. I didn't even look up El Salvador. Oh, we gotta look that up too. And Honduras and Nicaragua. And Paraguay. All of that. All right, cool. Let me look up Dominican.
Okay.
I already know what it means. The Dominican goes back to Santo Domingo, Saint Dominic or Saint Domingo, which Domingo is the Spanish way of saying Sunday. So basically, anytime you call yourself Dominican, you're calling yourself Sunday. What's up, Sunday?
That's crazy.
Sunday, bloody Sunday. What's up, Sunday? What's up, Sunday? Hey, Sunday, what's up, man? Yo soy Dominicanos. Okay, what's up? What does Dominican mean? You know, you want to deal with your people accordingly. You don't want to just mock them and say, oh, you don't know. You know, but it is a damn shame. You know, it is a damn shame. But the Dominicans, so-called Dominicans, go back to the tribe of Simeon. Simeon. Right? They're not Sunday. Right, let's look up another one. What did I say? I said Paraguay. Paraguay, and what else
Salvadorian?
did I say? Belize. Let's look up Belize. I never looked up Belize. Belize. Oh my God, man. Some say it derives from a Mayan language, which means land facing the sea. Belize. So your biblical nationality means land facing the sea. Or it says from a Spanish word, Belize derived from the Spanish pronunciation of the name of a Scottish buccaneer, Peter Wallace. Damn, let's look up Honduras. Honduras. You got Jays call themselves Hondureños, right? We're not going to look them all up, but I just want to get a nice lengthy listing.
Exactly.
Honduras. Honduras. Now, Honduras will also be from the tribe of Zebulon. On July 30th, 1502, Christopher Columbus first saw Honduran soil and he claimed the territory in the name of his sovereigns, Ferdinand and Aragon and Isabella of Castile. Man, damn, we ain't even going to the Spanish Inquisition, but we don't got to go into all that. He named the area Honduras, meaning depths, for the deep water off the coast. So Honduras means deep water. Hey, what's up, deep water? So Hondureño, deep water. Bad, that's terrible, man. El Salvador. Let's go into El Salvador, right? I already know what that means. Which is one of the deadliest countries in Central America. Oh my God. Look what pops up when I typed in El Salvador.
Oh, man.
Desiree Borgia. Check this out. All right. Spanish conquistador Pedro de Alvarado named the new province after Jesus Christ, San Salvador, or Holy Savior. Literally, Holy Savior. So anytime you call yourself an El Salvadorian, you're calling yourself Jesus Christ or Holy Savior. You're calling yourself a Holy Savior. And if your brothers, all right, want to go look up more of these things, go look into it. Go look into it. You know, we're gonna cut it short. I don't know if you want to bring out any precepts, but it's a damn shame. Our people do not consider. You still call yourself by proverbs and bywords, right?
I got one precept.
Baba Kushak, grab the one to recover the sight to the blind. If you don't have one, to recover the sight to the blind, I believe that's Isaiah 61 and what the gospel is.
God. I was holding this one. I'm gonna grab this one and I'll grab yours right quick.
God, you got it.
This is the book of Sirach 5 and verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So clearly the brother had pulled out tons and tons of information about our people calling themselves ridiculous names instead of just referring to what the Lord had given us, which is the Bible. And the Old Testament, New Testament, it's all one book. So hey, just return to the Lord. Hey, it's a steady thing. You got to just keep pushing. You know, endure until the end, because it isn't an easy walk, but at the same time, it's going to be an easier outcome to receive a crown of life. You know, if you put on the hard times now, because right now our people, you know, they're gone away backwards. But go for it, Doc.
Cover. I know Yahawashi quoted the gospel in Luke 4. Yeah, let's end with that, to the blind. Okay. Okay, this is Luke chapter 4. Now, Yahawashi in Luke 4 is quoting the book of Isaiah. So Yahawashi always resorted back to the Torah or the Tanakh. All right, because Isaiah is written in the book of the prophets or the Torah, or the Bible and just the Old Testament in general, right? Luke chapter 4, and I'll start at verse 17. And there was delivered unto him, unto Yahawashi, the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. Now we know Yahawashi didn't come for everybody. He came what? For the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 15 and 24. So we are the poor. Aren't we the poor and meek? Lowly, right? He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted. Edomites ain't brokenhearted. We're brokenhearted. We're the ones that go through this shit. We're the ones that are being demonically possessed. Okay, we're the ones that are going through all these afflictions. We're the ones in prison houses. We're the ones that don't know who the hell we are. To preach deliverance to the captives. When Yahawashi spoke these words, who was in control of Rome at that time, Ma? Come on, now, I just gave it a hint. Who was in control of Rome?
The Edomites.
Right? The Edomites, right? To preach deliverance to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, right? If you don't have no sight, you don't know who the hell you are. You don't know where the hell you're going. You're walking in darkness. You're in gross darkness. Okay, that's why the curses say you should grope in the noonday as in the night. Noonday is light outside, but you're walking around blind.
Yeah.
I'm Dominican. I'm African American. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Guatemalan. I'm Panamanian. And recovering of the sight to the blind. And can't say we don't love our people, because we do love our people, but we are hard on our people, because it's like a father who chastises his son. He has to show some type of discipline, and he has to what? Often with the rod, right? Like the proverb says, you have to always show that rod of correction. Okay, you have to correct your people, right? You correct your sons, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. And this is how you know that the gospel is for the Israelites. Check this out. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue, which were Israelites, were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, the Israelites, this day is the scripture fulfilled in your ears. So he was talking, directed his message to the Israelites in the synagogue and to the Israelites in general. And what he was quoting Isaiah 61. That's what Yahawashi was quoting. Right? You Jakes are blind. You're blind. You don't know who the hell you are. All right, so with that, you got another precept, Doc, or no?
La.
Okay, so with that, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah.
Yahawah.
Yahawashi.
Qadash.
Right, and Yahawah Yahawashi for giving us another opportunity to do a sit down. And yep. So, shalom.
Shalawam.